death at 3 o'clock in the morning on Valentines Day night of 2015 was a lot sweeter and quieter than that. But in order to explain that, I have to rewind a little bit. My husband and I met when we were in our 30s, and I had been down a long road of brokenheartedness before that, and I was really grateful when I finally found somebody that was truly there for me and with me. And it was a good thing that we had such a healthy relationship, because right from the start, we started to have to navigate some pretty tough things. My mom passed away in 2009. She died by suicide. And so we got that phone call, and he had to help me get the plane ticket and rental car and go be there with my family. And a couple years later, we had our plans to get married, and his dad was going to officiate the wedding. And we got another call in the middle of the night, a month before the wedding, saying that his dad had passed away of a heart attack unexpectedly in the night. And so I tried to help him navigate that in the same way. And that was a tough thing for him, because he had lost his mom when he was 10 years old. And so suddenly finding yourself with no parents at all is a pretty rude awakening in life. But we made our way through that, and we still got married. We had a stand-in preacher that married us, and we put smiles on our faces and had a good time. And then we were off on our road of being a married couple, and we decided that we knew all along that we wanted to have kids. And so we started trying to do that. And we thought it was going to be a lot easier than it turned out to be. But a couple of years later, it had gone from just trying to have kids the old-fashioned way to taking my temperature every morning and getting rid of all the chemicals in the house and planting an organic garden in the backyard so we could eat clean food. And it just kind of went on and on from there. And then we found ourselves at the fertility clinic in a waiting room where the nurse would call your name and not really look you in the eye. And that was not a particularly fun experience, but we got poked and prodded and tested and did things in doctor's offices that we never thought that we would have to do. And none of it worked. And so I found myself at age 42 basically just losing it one day. And I was lying face down on the rug, just bawling my eyes out. I was so sad because I had lost hope that anything was going to happen to bring about this baby. And it's weird when you're mourning a child that doesn't exist, but that's kind of what you do in that situation. I wanted the baby that was part me and part Dave. And that day we kind of said goodbye to that baby. But Dave looked at me and he said, you won't get to feel what it's like to carry a baby inside you, but if we decide to adopt, we'll have lots of other experiences that nobody talks about, that no one else gets to feel or experience. So we decided then and there to get on the adoption waiting list. That was another process. Went through the whole rigmarole, all the paperwork. And about 1.5 years after that, we were finally on the waiting list. And then you're in this purgatory, you're waiting. And you don't want to surround yourself with baby stuff in anticipation because you don't know when and if it's going to happen. And so our house was just the two of us, just looked like the two of us. But we decided on Valentine's Day, 2015, that we were going to go out on a date together. And we went to a bookstore. And we went to the children's section of the bookstore where they have those little cardboard books. And we looked through the cardboard books and we chose the ones that we wanted for our child, whoever and whenever that child may be coming to us. And it was really cool, and he got one about baseball, and I got one about Halloween, because I love Halloween. And we got all these little books, and we brought them home, this pile of books, and we put them on the bottom shelf of this built-in set of shelves that's in our bedroom wall. And it's got a lot of, family photos and things on the shelves and various stuff, and up at the top there's this music box that belonged to Dave's mom. And we put the books there, and then we went to bed. We fell asleep. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, we woke up to this sound, this tinkling music, and we both kind of sat bolt upright and started fumbling around the room trying to figure out where it was coming from, turned on the light, blurry-eyed, trying to figure it out, and realized that the music was coming from the music box that was up on the top shelf. That music box had never played. It was collecting dust up there. There was no reason why it should play. And we stood there with our mouths open, looking at this music box and listening to it play. It played for about a full minute, and then it stopped. And then it played for another minute or so, and then it stopped. And then it played for a third time, and then it stopped. And then it didn't play anymore after that. And it took us a long time to fall asleep after that, because we were really freaked out. We'd been looking for, where's the clown with the knife? I mean, it was scary sounding. Did that really happen? We kept saying to each other, but yeah, it really happened. 4 months after that, my daughter's birth mother handed her into my arms at the hospital in Gallatin. And 2 years later, we had the same experience again with our second child. And tonight, about a mile away, they're sleeping upstairs in our house. And downstairs, on that same shelf, is that same music box. And it has never played another note. But it didn't have to play any more than that, because it played 3 times. It played once for my mom, and once for Dave's mom, and once for Dave's dad, as if to say, we see you, and we hear you, and we've got you, and there's more to life than you know. Thank you.